Hey guys, Ephram Oliver here, and I hope you're having a very happy Halloween. I know 2020 has been kind of a disrupted year for a lot of the normal fun things we get to do, especially around this time. So a lot of people have had to change their plans to not go out in public and crowd around people and spread the virus. But that doesn't mean this has to be a gloomy, doomy kind of day where you just feel like you're missing out on everything. There are other ways to celebrate it. I'm going to still be carving a pumpkin. I am gonna eat some candy from the grocery store, and I'm probably gonna rewatch Paranorman since I haven't seen it in a while, as well as watch The Exorcist tonight for the first time, which I'm sure will be great. Always wanted to see that one. So yeah, the point is there are other ways to celebrate Halloween, and one of the ways I wanted to celebrate it today was going back to YouTube briefly, making a new video celebrating Halloween in the only way I know how, which is ranking and reviewing things. Let's go. Alright, so here you have my official Halloween candy tier list ranking. I will link my template down in the description so you could try it out yourself. This just has what I think are Halloween quintessential candies, some kind of outliers, but mainly just the candies that I've tried, so feel free to add your own. But yeah, let's get started with Butterfinger. Now, this is kind of a contentious pick. A lot of people aren't Butterfinger lovers, but I'm down. I'm down with the Butterfinger. I think it's kind of unique. The chocolate and peanut butter. A lot of people doing chocolate and peanut butter. Nobody does it better than Reese's, but Butterfinger comes real close. So I'm gonna put it at A. Now, Hershey's chocolate. No one gets like a full Hershey's chocolate bar, and it is sort of chocolate at its bare form. It's the chocolate, but at the same time, that kind of makes it generic. It's not really candy. It's just it's chocolate, but it's not as good as like premium chocolate, dark chocolate. So I'm gonna put it at C for those reasons. It's not bad. But it's just Hershey's. It's nothing special. Now, Three Musketeers, that's going to be a step above. Going to put it in B. Not one of my top tier candies, but not bad either. I like the inside. I think it's pretty unique. Same thing with Twix. I'm giving points for uniqueness, as we will find out later in this ranking. Peanut M&Ms. I'll pair this. Where is it? With regular M&Ms, but peanut M&Ms I think are an A. I mean, if you don't like M&Ms, you're just not going to have a good time at Halloween, because that is the majority of what I get. It's the most popular candy in America. I think peanut M&Ms are just a step above regular M&Ms, but honestly, I'll take either of them any day. They're the chocolate candy. Milky Way, same thing as Three Musketeers. I dig it. I think it's good. Again, not my top tier, but I'm not gonna throw it out. Certainly, I'll eat those lovingly. I will enjoy them. Junior Mints. I don't really associate these with Halloween all that much. I mostly associate them with like my dad getting them at the movie theater. Like he has them, put them in the fridge, and but they're solid. I don't think most kids are really clamoring for the Junior Mints. Some might trade them. I won't. I'll eat them. But I don't get them that much during Halloween. So again, not really Halloween candy, and that's kind of the theme with C tier. Is this? It's good. It's solid, but I can't give it a B because it's just not the Halloween candy. Kit Kat. That's going to be an easy one. Rising to the S tier. I love Kit Kat. Love that chocolate. Wafery. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. You know the slogan. You know the deal. It's good stuff. Warheads, don't really associate these with Halloween. I mainly associate them with like a weird kid bringing them into class and having people try them. It's like, is it really that sour? And you try them and, yep, it's really that sour. So yeah, it's just kind of a dare candy. It's not really It's a gimmick. It's not really Halloween-y necessarily. Now, having said that, Sour Patch Kids, that's an A tier. That's the Halloween version of Warheads. More accessible, not as cutting edge, not a dare candy, just kind of accessible, but a little unique, solid, very bad for you, very artificial, fruity, sour candy. I like it. Going again with this fruit theme, we have lemon heads. Certainly not top tier candy. A lot of people may not like it, but I think they're pretty good. I can't give it an A tier because I've now looked up realistic lemon head mascot, and I'm scarred. So yeah, don't do that. Don't make that mistake. Skittles. S is for Skittles. What you'll notice with a lot of the fruit candy that I have on here, a lot of it's top tier stuff. Now there's a lot of fruit candies, generic ones that, you know, the brands aren't really known. So there are a lot of them. They're absolute trash. I think a lot of fruit candy is kind of from a different era, you know? It's candy, but then, you know, chocolate became the new thing. And so that kind of overshadowed them. But a lot of the candy ones that have stood the test of time have really stood the test of time. So having said that, Starburst is also going to get the S tier. Kind of even better than Skittles for Halloween because they're just made that way. Like, that pack is just a pack of these little bitty squares. You can chew them as you walk through the night in your Halloween costume. It's just perfect. Dum Dums. Kind of equally associate these with Halloween as well as, like, the doctor's office or, I don't know, school handouts after you answer a question right. So for that reason, I'm going to put it at a B. I'm also putting it at a B because Dum Dums is like a whole brand and there are many flavors. Some of them great, some of them not so much. The root beer one and the it's not coming to me, but the root beer one definitely is a standout. All right, I'm coughing because I'm about to say something really controversial. Jolly Rancher is going to be our first placement in the F tier. Jolly Rancher. What is it? I don't get it. It's not sour. It's not sweet. It's nothing. It's a gross candy. It does not make me jolly. It just upsets me. I cannot imagine looking through my bag and be like, oh, I don't have any Jolly Ranchers. And then I like trade with some kid and be like, can I have your Jolly Ranchers? Like, whenever someone brings candy to school and gives it out and they have Jolly Ranchers, I'm just like, you officially ruined my day because Jolly Ranchers are F tier. Now, candy corn, this is going to be controversial. I'm going to put them at B tier. Normally, they would be at C tier, but look at the color scheme. Does that just not scream Halloween to you? Does anyone eat candy corn on any occasion except for Halloween? And you know what? Through all the debates, they've persevered. They've survived. So I'm going to put them at a B tier and give them the respect they deserve, all right? Milk Duds. This is going to be a B tier. Not quite as high up as some of these. I think these are really solid. They're just not as memorable as some other name brand candies. Milk Duds, I've just not had them a bunch, and they don't stick out to me. So that's why they're at B tier. Throwing out something else. These are kind of controversial. Some people would agree with me. Some people think it's their favorite candy. I don't know why. F tier. Almond Joy, let me explain. I love almonds. I love coconut. I love chocolate, of course. That's not chocolate. That's not an almond. That's not coconut. That is something a mad scientist created in the lab. He wanted to concoct the weirdest, most uncandy candy thing ever. It looks like a health bar from the packaging. It really sticks out like a sore thumb. Whenever I open my candy bag and see Almond Joys, I'm like, yep, toss that out. I don't even care. The dogs can eat it. Dogs shouldn't eat this. It has chocolate. I just thought about that. But the coconut is just terrible. I love coconut, but they ruin coconut. It has this weird texture. It's like wet rice. And yeah, the taste is bland. There is just nothing about it I like. It's my least favorite Halloween candy that I've ever had. Moving on to Hershey's Kisses. So I'm going to put these, even though they're the exact same taste, I'm going to put them above Hershey's. The reason I am putting them above Hershey's is because they're more Halloween-y. They're more Halloween friendly because of how they're packed. They're little, small, you can pop them in your mouth, go on to the next house to pick up your candy. Hershey's bar, that's a commitment. You gotta open that, you gotta eat it little bit by bit. Even the smaller sizes, it's just not as instant. It's not as consumable as Hershey's Kisses. You know, if you got a million Hershey's bars, even if you're a sugar-loving kid, I think you'll be like, oh my god, I'm tired. Because it's just chocolate. It's pure chocolate, but it's just not as exciting. So Hershey's Kisses makes that a little more snappy, a little better. All right, now Mike and Ike's. I'm kind of cheating on this one. I don't associate it that much with Halloween. I don't get it that often. At the same time, Mike and Ike's is a top tier candy. I hate to say it, folks, but just the shape of it, it's sort of jelly bean, sort of not. It just has a unique shape, really great taste. It's just satisfying every time I have them. Nerds, kind of the opposite deal with Mike and Ike's. I mean, they're both S tier candies in my eyes. I associate these more with Halloween because they come in those little boxes and they're perfect and they're little tiny candy rocks that you eat. But yeah, they're not as shapely as the Mike and Ike's. They're sort of random assortments. But that, for such little candies, or maybe it's just the combined flavors and just essences of it all, the flavor still sticks out. Whoppers, this is going to be another hot take. Whoppers is going in B tier. Number one. Point of evidence number one. Perfect for Halloween. Those little plastic packages, you know, they're not too flashy, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4 Whopper balls. Put them in your mouth, suck on them, and they're great. I guess some people are not a fan of that malt chocolate taste. I am. I think it's great. I like when people do unique things with chocolate. Along those lines, Tootsie Roll. A lot of people aren't digging the Tootsie Roll. I like them. They're not as chocolatey as some of these other ones, but I think they're good. I've just never disliked them like other people. Twizzlers, you know, I can understand why some people might not like this one. To me, it's not disgusting, but it's just not, that flavor is just not as strong as you ever want it to be. And it never really changes. It never gets better. It never gets worse. It's not one of the better candies, but I also don't think it's awful. And it's pretty good for Halloween, those little packages. Really hot take. It's not on this because it's not really a brand or that popular for Halloween because almost no one likes it. Black licorice. I love black licorice. I think it's much better than red licorice. If Twizzlers was black licorice, it might go to A or S tier. I'm sorry. I know that'll anger people. Airheads is going at a D. Not because I don't like Airheads, but because I don't associate these with Halloween at all. I've almost never gotten them. I associate them more with, like, skating rinks. I don't know. They're kid candy, but I wouldn't say they're Halloween candy. They're pretty okay, but yeah, no, they're also not one of my favorites. Tootsie Pop. I don't like Tootsie Pops. I love Tootsie Rolls, but Tootsie Pops are just not my thing. They're like a bad version of Dum Dums, and they have gum inside them. I'm not a big gum person, but inside a popsicle, or not a popsicle, a lollipop, that is just, yeah, that's not something I want. Now, Snickers, it's going to be a bit of an upset. I'm not putting in an S tier, even though S stands for Snickers. I think they're quintessential Halloween candy, so I'm giving them the bump. Alright, otherwise they might be in B tier. Maybe. I don't know. It's something about the taste, sometimes Snickers can be stale, sometimes they can melt, sometimes they can get messy. So it's just not a consistent enough experience. It's not like Kit Kats. It's not like some of these other ones. So I put an A tier as a low compromise, but yeah, not my favorite. Now Smarties, I like Smarties. A lot of people might diss on the Smarties. I understand that. They're not top tier fruit candy. It's just not top tier candy in general. But look at the packaging. That's perfect for Halloween. You just that's a weird sound effect, but and you move on to the next house. I'm saying that argument for a lot of these, but it holds true. Now Swedish Fish. Now this is one that has really grown on me. I really like Swedish Fish. I really did. I can't put them above M&Ms. That's just wrong. But I love the flavor of these. Gummies. There are so many gummies. They taste kind of the same. Swedish Fish found a way to make them unique. So props to the Swedes for that. I dig them. Now Sixlets. I didn't even know the name of these until now. But yeah, I've had them. They're basically like little tiny jaw breakers. They're good, but I don't think anyone's put them at the top of your list. I certainly wouldn't fault you if you put it lower than I did, but I don't think they're bad. I just, because of not even knowing the brand name, I feel like I can't hold them in that high regard. They are good for Halloween, though. Just those little, again, not flashy, little plastic packages, same ones the Whoppers come in. Those are Halloween friendly. Now, Crackle and Crunch are going to be put together. I've had Crunch more often, so maybe that's recency bias. I think Crunch is a little better. They're kind of the same. I don't remember which came first. If Crackle came first, then Crunch perfected it. If Crunch came first, Crackle really stole it, but couldn't live up to it. So I'm going to put Crunch at A tier and Crackle at B tier. I feel like it's cheating to put excuse me, to put both of them in the same place, just because they are kind of the exact same thing. Reese's, there's going to be no hot takes with this one. Reese's and Reese's Pieces are going to S tier. Reese's Pieces, pretty much M&M's, but if you added peanut butter and made it even better, and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, they're just Halloween-y. Look at the orange packaging. You just know. When those Reese's commercials, a lot of these commercials, don't really work. The Reese's commercials make you hungry for some Reese's. They've just endured. They're perfect. I think most people would have them at S. I challenge yourself to find a tier list that doesn't put Reese's in the S tier, and especially puts Reese's in the F tier or the D tier. So that is my reasoning. You don't need me to tell you any more than that. Lifesavers, again, not awful, but I don't really associate them with Halloween that much. And yeah, they're not really my favorite. They kind of remind me of medicine. So they're not awful, but they're not gonna climb up to C tier and above. And lastly, Laffy Taffy. That was kind of lastly Laffy. All right. Moving on. Laffy Taffy, I'm either going to put this at the D or the C tier. They are pretty Halloween friendly, although they're kind of chewy. You know what? Let's be generous. Let's be nice to end things off. We'll put Laffy Taffy at a decent C tier. I don't think most people will get mad at me for that. They might get mad at me for not putting it lower. So yeah, there you have it, folks. That is my completed Halloween tier list. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I will be sure to link my template down in the description below, so you can rank candies, or maybe you should make your own and add more that I forgot. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this fun little Halloween special. This was really fun to do. I have some very strong opinions on candy, apparently. So yeah, again, I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. Please stay safe, and as always, leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to check out the rest of my content for some reason. And as always, I will see you in the next video. This is Ephram Oliver, signing out.